The subweapon can carry the US-designed, GBU family of laser-guided bombs, LGB, which consists of a guidance kit, attached to a standard Mark 80 series low-drag bomb. GBU-10, Payload 2, based on the 2,000 pounds Mark 84 bomb. Entered service on 1976 and is manufactured by Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. GBU-12, similar to the GBU-10, but based on a 500 pounds Mark 82 bomb. GBU-16, similar to the GBU-10, but based on the 1,000 pounds Mark 83 bomb. All of them use the same delivery procedure. Bear in mind that a LGB is unpowered, and thus they have limited range, and for best results they should be dropped from at least 9,000 feet altitude. Also, they need a laser designator pointed towards the target during their entire drop trajectory, so if the designation is done by our own aircraft, you should take care to keep the target on the forward hemisphere of our laser designator, which may need a shallow dive after the bomb is released. For this reason, don't attempt to launch more than one LGB on a single pass. For this training mission, we will use the same weapons range as our previous missions, but this time the target will be a set of obsolete tanks arranged on the northernmost runway of the range. Your aircraft mounts 4 LGB of diverse type for you to train with. Each will have to be dropped on separate passes over the target. You will be awarded 20 results points for each destroyed target tank. Press spacebar to begin the mission. We have paused the mission briefly, to explain this weapon procedure. It has 3 parts: weapon preparation, locate targets using the targeting pod, and finally weapon deployment. Weapon preparation. 1. Set air to ground mode. Press the 7 key. This will configure the mission computer for the use of air-to-ground weapons, including the laser-guided bombs. 2. Select weapon. On the HUD the air-to-ground symbology is shown, and on its bottom left the currently selected weapon is displayed. Press the D key, to cycle among the weapon stations that currently have LGB. With your current loadout, it will cycle between the GBU-12 and GBU-16. Select the GBU-16 first, as being heavier, it will leave the aircraft lighter for the subsequent bombing passes. 3. Master Arm Safety Switch, set to live. This enables all the weapon firing circuits of the aircraft. Use of the targeting pod. The LGB are used in conjunction with the targeting pod, which allows us to search optically, from a great distance, for suitable targets. Press the O key to activate the TV camera of the targeting pod. On the HUD you will see a circle, initially bore-sighted over the nose of the aircraft. This is the target designator, TD. You can move it with the keys, colon, comma, slash and semicolon. Try and move the TD, to get a feel for it. If needed, you can recenter the TD with right Ctrl plus L. To ease the use of the T-pod, enable the altitude hold autopilot, with the left Alt plus 4 keys. To have a complete view of what the T-pod sensor is seeing, enable on the left MFD the T-pod page, by clicking the highlighted button twice. The actual target designator is the small box on the center of the display. You can adjust the size of the TD box, with the keys right Ctrl plus square brackets, so that you can lock larger targets. For a tank-sized vehicle, leave it at 10 meters. The T-pod has 2 zoom levels, change between them with the equals and minus keys. If you can see the 4 brackets, you are zoomed out, if they are not visible then you are zoomed in. Once you have located a target, position the TD box near it and press Enter to lock onto it. It isn't necessary to precisely enclose the target inside the TD box, just place it near. If the lock is successful, the code C will appear on the display. If the T-pad can't lock, it will display the code KC. If the lock is unsuccessful, it is most likely because the range is too great. On this case, unpause the sim with left win plus left shift plus pause, wait a bit to get nearer, then pause it, and try to lock again. Press spacebar once you have a target locked. Weapon deployment. Once a target is locked, follow these next steps to attack it. 1. Trigger safety. Up. On the flight stick, click on the trigger safety cover. It will remain up until you click on it again. 2. Laser designator. On. With right shift plus O. Since the LGB are laser guided, we must turn on the laser designator. The LR symbology appears on both the TGP display and on the HUD. Do it now. 3. Check target range. Keep flying level towards the target, while monitoring the range scale on the HUD. We have paused the action again, in order to explain the next few steps that you will have to do on your own. The biggest challenge on using the LGB, is that you have to keep the target illuminated with a laser during the whole bomb trajectory. If the laser loses lock, then the bomb will miss. Since the bomb is unpowered, it is easy for your aircraft to overtake it, and since the laser gimbal limit is 90 degrees straight down, you will lose lock if this happens. So, as soon as you release the LGB, reduce throttle to idle and extend the air brakes with the left shift plus B keys, the goal being to prevent the aircraft from overtaking the LGB. Also, disconnect the autopilot, with left Alt plus 9. Turn the aircraft slightly right, to avoid overflying the target. At the same time, the aircraft will begin a shallow dive because of its speed reduction. Use the trimmer to keep the drive shallow. Keep an eye on the T-pod display, particularly the horizontal and vertical indexes. Steer the aircraft in such a way that the triangles don't approach their gimbal limits. Do this until the LGB impacts, or you lose lock. 4. Once the target range arrow on the HUD gets between the maximum and minimum range marks, press and hold the trigger to drop the currently selected LGB. You will feel the aircraft shudder a bit and the weapon station will automatically select another LGB. Press and hold the trigger now, until the LGB is released. 5. Throttle to idle. Extend air brakes. 6. Disconnect autopilot, turn slightly left, begin shallow dive. Monitor the TV display, steer the aircraft so that the index triangles remain within the gimbal limits of the T-pod. 7. Once the target is hit, pull out of the dive, increase throttle once the nose is over the horizon. First pass. Now turn left 180 degrees to go around and perform the second pass. If you are finished, then turn right, to a heading of 90 degrees and return to Saipan Air Base.
OZ-1, airborne. OZ-1, passing passing waypoint 2 at 1,800. Uzi 1, passing waypoint 3 at 2,600. Uzi 1, passing waypoint 4 at 2,600. Uzi 1, passing waypoint 5 at 2,600. Uzi 1, on station at bullseye 02047 at 2,600. Uzi 1, pushing from waypoint 6 at 3,500. Infield, airborne. Ford 1, airborne.
Second pass. If you still have bombs left, you can turn left to go around and perform another attack. If you are finished, then turn right, to a heading of 90 degrees and return to Saipan Air Base. Colt 1, tally armor at Bulls 023, Fort 110. Infield, passing waypoint 2 at 1,200. Infield, passing waypoint 3 at 1,500. Infield, passing waypoint 4 at 1,500. Infield, passing waypoint 5 at 2,300. Colt 1, passing waypoint 2 at 1,000. Infield, on station at bullseye 026 for 100 at 2,300. Infield, pushing from waypoint 6 at 2,500.
Charlie Armor at
Colt 1,
0502
passing waypoint 1, passing waypoint 700. Colt 1, passing waypoint 4 at 3,500. Colt 1, passing waypoint 5 at 3,500. Colt 1, on station at Bull 028 at 3,500. Ford 1, passing waypoint 3 at 1,200.
Third pass. If you still have bombs left, you can turn left to go around and perform another attack. If you are finished, then turn right, to a heading of 90 degrees and return to Saipan Air Base. Colt 1, pushing from waypoint 6 at 3,500.
Dodge 1, passing waypoint 2 at 800. Dodge 1, passing waypoint 3 at 1,000.
Fourth pass, turn left to go around and perform another attack. Remember to turn off the laser, to prevent its overheating.
Overlord 1-1, passing waypoint 3
Before returning to base, we must disarm the armament. We have paused the mission again, to guide you through this procedure.
16,000.
1. Trigger safety. Down. On the flight stick, click on the trigger safety cover. 2. Master arm safety switch, set to safe. This disables all the weapon firing circuits. 3. Set navigation mode. Press the 1 key. This will configure the mission computer for navigation. 4. Laser ranging. If it is still on, then set to off, with right shift plus O. Press spacebar to unpause and continue the mission. You have finished the LGB bombing part of the training. Do you want to practice the return and landing back to base? Press spacebar to continue, or press backspace to finish the training now. Head towards Saipan Air Base, ahead of us, and begin final approach. We have paused the mission once again, so that we can do a quick review of the landing checklist. 1. Flight instruments. Check heading, altitude and speed. 2. APU, check that its switch is on. It will auto-activate at touchdown. 3. Landing gear lever. Extend once you are under 300 knots. 4. Landing lights. Confirm they are at land position. 5. Landing mode. Confirm it is enabled. NL should be displayed at the top left of the HUD and the glide slope line should be visible. 6. Flaps. They are automatic and don't need to be manipulated. Press COM1 to contact ATC. Select F5, ATC, F1, Saipan International. F1, inbound. Press spacebar once ATC answers our communication.
Enfield 1-1. Fly heading 24146. QFE 29.70. Runway 07 to pattern altitude.
If, later on, you hear ATC messaging you with contact tower, press COM1 and select F1, request landing. Press spacebar to unpause the mission.
Enfield 1-1. Request landing.
You are now on final approach. Maneuver to align with runway 07. Use the landing symbology, positioning the dot on the desired touchdown spot and then follow the glide slope, placing the FPM at the same point.
Enfield 1-1. Check landing gear. Runway 07.
Touchdown. Once your speed is below 40 knots, exit on the next available street, to the left.
Enfield 1-1. Taxi to parking area.
This is Street D, proceed north towards runway 24. You have landed safely back at Saipan. Do you want to practice the taxi to the ramp? Press spacebar to continue, or press backspace to finish the training now. Congratulations, you have performed your LGB bombing training, and you have also done a visual approach and landing back at Saipan.